Hey guys, happy Saturday, happy October 1st. What I got going on today? Hopping on the live because it's another student loan video because we just had breaking info about the Biden administration doing a hit them with the Uno reverse card. Like, some of y'all are not going to be eligible, even though we said that y'all previously were. So we're going to talk about that today, see what you guys think about it. Some of it is confusing. I think they're still developing the information and how they respond to some legislation, some pending lawsuits that are coming out as a result of Biden announcing the loan forgiveness for the general public. So we're going to kind of dive right into it and see what you guys think. Make sure if you are hopping on now, check in the chat box. I want to hear from you guys. If you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. We have an everything student loan playlist, but we have a lot of playlists. We have veterans, pre-law, law school and beyond, personal finance, reaction videos. We have a little something for everybody. So I'm sure that's one of the playlists that we have that you would like. So hit the subscribe button. Also hit that thumbs up button because what it does is show that you are interested in the video, and YouTube knows it too. So it pushes out to more people so that we can share it more widely. So I'm going to give people a chance to hop on, and then we're going to get right into the article that I read, and then I went right to the source because that's what I like to do. If you're new to the channel, I and Tracy and I are attorneys, and we kind of have our attorney's hat on when we're thinking about certain things, certain issues. So when I saw this issue about the Biden administration doing a reverse about certain loans that were previously eligible for consolidation and now they're not, I put on my lawyer hat and was like, okay, let's go to the source and see what they're saying, are saying the same thing, because articles are basically interpreting what something else is saying, and they may or may not get it right. In this situation, I think it's subject to change a lot. So we'll see. But make sure if you're coming on live, hop in the chat box. Let me know what you think. Let me know if any of this stuff is impacting you positively or negatively. I know we had some questions from the last video. Tracy did a video a couple of days ago about how do you find out about your loans. I did a video earlier in the week. The first week of October, we're going to do a video every day, a live every day. So today's student loan, tomorrow's going to be something different. We have some good things in the plan in the works. So I'm excited. All right, let me share my screen because I want to show you which article that I started out with. Is the NPR article that talked about what happened with, it's going to affect 770,000 borrowers. So it's going to affect a certain amount of people. So it may affect you, may not have affected you. We'll see. Am I freezing? I think I'm okay. All right, let me bring it up so you can see the full screen here. All right, so this is NPR. I like to use them. They're pretty unbiased in most of their reportings. Well, I don't know. It's journalism. It's some kind of bias. So it says, in a reversal, the education department is excluding many from student loan relief, right? So that should get people up in the road. This is Secretary of Department of Education, Miguel Cardona, and Biden, of course, in the picture. It says, in a remarkable reversal that will affect the fortunes of many student loan borrowers, the U.S. Department of Education has quietly changed its guidance around who qualifies for President Biden's sweeping student debt relief plan. At the center of the change are borrowers who took out federal loans many years ago, both Perkins loans and Federal Family Education Loans, FFEL. FFEL loans issued and managed by private banks but guaranteed by the federal government were once the mainstay of the federal student loan program until the FFEL program ended in 2010. According to federal data, more than 4 million borrowers still have commercially held FFEL loans. Until Thursday, the department's own website advised these borrowers that they could consolidate these loans into federal direct loans and thereby qualify for relief under Biden's debt cancellation program. On Thursday, though, the department quietly changed that language. The guidance now says, as of September 29th, 2022, borrowers with federal student loans not held by the Education Department cannot attain one-time debt relief by consolidating these loans into direct loans. Administration official tells NPR roughly 800,000 borrowers would now be excluded from relief, though many more borrowers could end up getting less relief than they were entitled to under old guidance. These are roughly 1.5 million FFEL borrowers who also have direct loans, which still qualify for cancellation through FFEL loans, though FFEL loans no longer do. It's unclear why the department reversed its decision on allowing FFEL borrowers with commercially held loans to consolidate and then qualify for debt relief. In a statement to NPR, department spokesperson says, our goal is to provide relief to as many eligible borrowers quickly and as easily as possible, and this will allow us to achieve that goal while we continue to explore additional legally available options to provide relief to borrowers with privately held FFEL loans and Perkins loans, including whether FFEL borrowers could receive one-time relief without needing to consolidate. All right, I'll let you guys see about that article later. But what do you guys think about that? Comment in the comment box. Do you hold one of the FFEL loans or the Perkins loans? Because previously, if that's the only loans you had to consolidate to get direct loans and then ask for the forgiveness, the application for the forgiveness. Biden was talking about you'd have to consolidate to be eligible. But now they're saying, like, if you hadn't done it before Thursday, it's not eligible and you wouldn't be eligible for that relief. What do you guys think about that? I think I don't hold either one of those, but I also wasn't eligible for the Biden relief that he announced in August. If you are new to this channel, I'm on the public service loan forgiveness track, and I have direct loans already. So that's the track that I'm on. And when I saw that article come up, I said it was obvious it was for the recent Biden debt forgiveness, loan forgiveness, but I was wondering it also affected people who are on the PSLF program, which is the public service loan forgiveness. And so I went to the source to see what they're already saying, because it basically was like I said, a Uno reverse card, like psych, and it gave people who actually thought about it early enough to consolidate as soon as the announcement was made, because it was like, if you already did it or requested consolidation before Thursday, you're good. But if you were like, oh, I'll get to it, and thought about doing it later it's not going to come, because they're basically saying, like, no, if you didn't already do it, you can't do it now. For now, it might change in the future, but for now, that's what they're saying. Let me go to hold on, we have beautiful Samaria. I already consolidated because I applied for PSLF. Good job. That was good job. So that's what I was going to say. Let's go to the federal student aid page, because those of you got the PSLF, they haven't, this article is written, like I said, specific to the Biden thing, but I think the concept may apply to PSLF. But if you already did your due diligence, you already had until the end of this month anyway to consolidate, because under the temporary extended program, they gave you until October 31st, 2022 to consolidate and apply for forgiveness under the public service loan forgiveness, and it would count previously ineligible payments. So they announced that last October. So if you waited to this October, you was like, I'm going to do it soon, and this applies to PSLF, it may or may not prevent you from being able to get relief on the PSLF. So let's hop over to the PSLF thing. Let me share my screen so you can see that, because I have both hats on. I was thinking about our viewers who have perhaps, looking for the forgiveness under the regular, the general $10,000, or 20 if you had a Pell Grant, or the PSLF, which has no cap on how much they forgive. So I went to the federal student aid page to see, because this is basically under PSLF. So it says eligible loans. Any loans received under William D. Ford Federal Direct Loan qualifies for PSLF. Loans from these federal student loan programs do not qualify for PSLF, the FFEL, and the Perkins loan. However, they may become eligible if you consolidate them into a direct consolidation loan. Student loans from private lenders do not qualify for PSLF, right? I guess the concept of the FFEL loans was kind of like they were hybrids, right? They were managed by something else, and if they were held by the Department of Education, then they would they'd be qualifying for debt relief, because right now none of the debt relief is for privately held loans. So it kind of makes sense that if the FFEL or Perkins loans were not backed by the federal government, that they couldn't actually forgive it. But it basically was telling them that they could consolidate and make it they can make almost a private loan, a public loan by consolidation process. But they've taken that away. So I think some people have a right to be upset about it. Some of the 800,000 people they said will be impacted by it actually would also not be eligible for it anyway because they may be made over the income qualifications for the general loan forgiveness. So if you remember, I believe it's 120. You can't make more than 125 or 250 if you're married, filing jointly. You can't make more than 250 for the household to be eligible for that $10,000 forgiveness. There were people that held the FFEL loans, but they wouldn't be eligible anyway based on the income thing. So then we have a smaller group of people who would basically be disqualified from it. So it may not impact as many people, but it certainly will give some people pause because they're like, oh man, I thought I was eligible and now I'm not eligible. I'm going to bring up one more thing that the federal student aid, this is all, like I said, I go to the source because hearing it from third parties can get misconstrued. But if you basically go to the source to see what the source is saying, they will tell you. So this is studentaid.gov. This is an official United States government website. And it says which loans are eligible. This is a one-time student loan debt relief. And this is talking about the relief that was just announced August 24th. And I told you about the income requirements. If you scroll down, this is basically the requirements, right? If you scroll down to which loans are eligible, most federal student loans are eligible. Undergrad, Parent Plus, consolidations, FFEL, held by Department of Education. Perkins loans, held by Department of Education. So they specify that in there because it previously just said FFEL because you can assume that you can consolidate and make it a direct loan. I think that I would be upset if I had that happen because it was a broad debt forgiveness and now it's not. What do you guys think about like all these changes that are happening? Have you guys submitted your beautiful Samaria? Have you submitted your employer certification form? Because I know I try to certify annually. Are you close to getting yours forgiven? Are you taking advantage of the temporary extended to get take advantage of some of the other mostly ineligible payments? It was something else. Oh, so I did a video a couple of months ago where they said that, and this was brought up by another viewer in the last video, said to talk about the forbearance steering that some federal loan servicers are going to be doing when repayment comes. And what that basically means is like in the past, and hopefully not in the future, in the past, sometimes when the person called in for the federal servicer and said, hey, I can't afford my payments, the servicer would automatically put them on a forbearance, right? If they had a forbearance available without offering them other options about how to repay the loan. And based off of basically an audit of it, the federal government said, okay, if you in the past have been offered forbearance over something else, and it was for forbearance for 12 months or longer, we will now count those as payments, even though that you were on payments. They will count as payments towards your ultimate loan forgiveness if you were on the PSLF, right? Which is good. And also if you were on other, programs now, like the income-based repayment, which is the pay for 20 years and get it forgiven. Whichever one it is, you get payments for non-payments. This is in addition to getting credit for the pandemic forbearance we've been under. If you know, like you haven't had to pay, there's been zero interest rates. If you're on the PSLF program, those count as payments towards your total 120 payments, which is a good deal. So you basically have gotten over 24 free payments because we've been on forbearance since March 2020 and it's now October 2022, right? So you've gotten over 24 payments towards that. If you also were on forbearance for at least 12 months or greater, those non-payments would actually count towards the 120 payments as well, which is something that can benefit a lot of people because of the forbearance steering that the other viewer was talking about in my last video in the comment section. So if you call into your servicer, try to figure out some payment plan that you can work out before automatically going to forbearance, because forbearance is not going to help you in the long run as far as getting the debt taken care of. It kind of pushes it out the way. But if there are other options, maybe on income-based repayment, and maybe your payment actually might be $0 because of your income and your household number, and that counts as a payment. A $0 payment under an income-based repayment program counts as a payment. Why not do that over the regular just forbearance and you still have to pay it later? So yes, hopefully we don't see as much forbearance steering even as we come to approach the end of the year when repayments will start January 1st. Hopefully these loan services have learned their lesson. I now have Mohela as my loan servicer. Some people have, Tracy has something different. Navient? No, not Navient. She has another servicer. So there are other services out here now, and hopefully they've learned from that so that they don't not help their the people they're servicing. So let's see here. Hey Judy, hi, tuning in from North Carolina. Thank you, Judy, for your support. Judy has a YouTube channel as well, Asian American Legal Focus, AA Focus, AA Legal Focus, and she's another lawyer and talks about different issues. And she's actually been doing a series about a lawyer that was killed, Dan Markell, a law professor that was killed in Florida. Some of you might know about it, but check it out. She's been doing a very in-depth series about the whole Markell case. So check out her channel if you have a chance as well. So we appreciate the support from other YouTubers, other lawyerly YouTubers as well. So yeah, I think I was trying to think about anything else. If anybody had any questions about student loans, I know we've done several videos over the past few days, and there's been a lot of changes. I think that we can do some videos over the next week because there's been a lot of changes and some questions about what's happening, what it invokes. And this is important to kind of ask questions, call your service if you have any questions. As Tracy and I always remind people, make sure that you are updating your contact information with your servicer so that you can receive information. I know that if you were looking for forgiveness, the application is coming out later in October for the $10,000. So look out for that so that you can apply early on so that you won't be in the mix that basically they say you applied too late or we ran out of money or some problem. You don't want to be in that mix. Apply as soon as you see the application, but make sure you have your contact information available. I know there was a recent lawsuit about it was a public service, some organization sued basically to say that the loan forgiveness that Biden offered was illegal because supposedly they were automatically forgiving people's loans, and one of their affected people, they wanted a temporary injunction because they said one of their people doesn't want to qualify for the automatic forgiveness that Biden offered because that person would have tax implications from their state. If you're not familiar, some states have said that they will tax the $10,000 forgiveness of the loans in your particular state. It's state specific, so you got to see if your state is one of those states. But this person was saying that they didn't want the automatic forgiveness because they didn't want to have to be responsible for state taxes, and it's not fair that the government will automatically do it if they have your income in their system already that would say that you made under the 125 and you qualified. The judge actually threw that case out because they said, well, the government responded and says it's not automatic. Actually, you have to apply for it through an application. So if you decided, no, I don't want the loan forgiveness, you can actually choose and not have your loans forgiven. So that case was thrown out. But it was interesting that not everybody was interested in having the loans forgiven, supposedly. So let's see. Beautiful Samaria. I recertified in May, but they're still saying I need to recertify. I've only been in repayment for 6 years now, and they are saying only 3 of my payments are currently qualified. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe did you have multiple employers while you were there? This is a good point that Samaria brought up because you want to make sure you're on the same page as the Mohela is now the PSLF loan certifier, to say whether you qualify for loan forgiveness if you're in public service or nonprofit. And you want to make sure that you guys are on the same page for whatever reason. In order to have your loans forgiven on the public service, you have to have work for a public service or nonprofit, have 120 payments and full-time employment, right? And you have to fill out the form. It's the same form as the temporary extended is the regular public service loan forgiveness. So it's confusing why you say you've been in repayment for 6 years and they only saying 3 of her payments, 3 years or 3 months of your payments are qualified. That's interesting because sometimes what they'll do is send a message to you too that said, oh, these are qualified and these are the reason why these other ones don't. So look into the mailbox of your servicer because they usually have an explanation letter and they'll say, well, we need to verify that your employer really is one of those qualifying employers, right? Or they'll say, we need you to verify your official start date, or we need to verify certain things. If they had to verify with the, if you were making payments to a different servicer and they had to verify with the other servicer what your payments were, that is also an issue that could stop them temporarily for saying that it's not all certified. So find out what it is. It could be a variety of reasons, and some of them could be really quick fixes. So hopefully you can get that straightened out when you contact them again, or you just look at the paperwork again and ask them. I know recently, so I've been recertifying my employer for 9 years. And recently on my last recertification, this is when my loans were still with Fed Loans, they said, oh, we need you to send us a W-2 to verify your employer is like the correct employer for loan certification. I was like, I've been at the same one. Like, if you thought this wasn't a qualified employer, wouldn't you said something before this year? So, without me arguing with them about it, I uploaded the W-2 that showed the employer, and it shows as a qualified because I work for the federal government, so it shows that I qualify. But I just thought it was weird that that would be something that they would ask me to clarify like 9 years into it. So anyway, if it's a quick fix, I was just on the computer, downloaded my W-2, uploaded it to the system, and got it straight. But hopefully something quick like that. Let's see. Thanks for mentioning the law professor. Yes, no problem, Judy. I know that you have a good series going there. Talk to Dro. Okay, I think today might be a short video. I know some people may be on the replay thing and watch it later. If you have questions, make sure you put it in the comment box. I think that tomorrow I'll put a notice about what we're going to post for tomorrow. I did a poll on the community tab of our channel, so check out the community tab because we post polls to see what you guys want to see. So make sure you vote. If none of the options, it only let me put 4 options. If none of the options appeal to you, put in the comment section something that you want to see for this week. Like I said, we're going to go live every day between Tracy and I, going live every day. On Friday, we both are going to go live together. So we want to see what you guys want to hear from us in our commentary and what topics interest you. So head over to the community tab of our page, click on our page, and then click on the community tab and see the poll so that you can actually vote for it. Let's see. They are saying that they don't qualify because I need to recertify. I've been with my current job for 4 years now. All of my jobs have been in public health, but my last employer no longer exists. Okay, so yeah, I don't know why. That might be the only reason. They're saying they don't because I need to recertify. But you recertified, and they said it after you recertified. Listen, the people that are actually approving this stuff, no shade to anybody else, but they probably have a big caseload and may not be reading everything as thoroughly as possible. And sometimes resubmitting the same thing will trigger somebody, it'll get into somebody else's queue for them to look at and actually read properly. So that might be the case with you. I don't know, but it sounds like you did what you were supposed to do. And hopefully the servicer can get on board with that. Mohela is the current servicer for PSLF. So we'll see what's going on with that. I like to hear the latest on Beatrice. Okay, so that is one of the options. Beatrice Bajot. If you guys are new to this channel, I did a reaction video to an attorney who had some mental health issues and ended up like running over people, and it was the interrogation of her and her sister and her boyfriend. So people want to know what happened to her. So I'm willing to do an update on that if that's what people want to see. So make sure you vote on the community tab. I put it up, I guess, yesterday or the day before yesterday. So vote for that on the community tab if that's what's interesting to you. So if we don't have anything more, I'm going to hop off, but I'll hop back on tomorrow. I'll maybe try a different time to see what's more convenient for people. But happy Saturday. Enjoy the first day of October. Hopefully the weather is not interrupting. We have some viewers from Florida. Hopefully you guys are recovering fine from the storm, Hurricane Ian, and not too much property damage, and that you guys can make it through if you need to rebuild. But here we've had regular weather. It's been regular hot weather. I'm in Texas. Early in the morning has been cooler, but later in the afternoon has been hotter weather. So we'll see if we start to get some real fall weather. But thank you guys for joining us today. I'll see you guys tomorrow for a brand new topic. It won't be student loans, it'll be something else, but hopefully of interest to you. All right. See you guys in the next video.